I'm Andy Gray from John 3:30, and I do not conform to this world, and neither should you. Philippians 2 verse 5, Paul tells us to have this attitude within ourselves that was also in Jesus. This attitude that he talks about, it goes on for a couple of verses, but the gist of it is this, is that there's this Jesus guy, his attitude was very different to ours. He says he was once in the form of God. He was like God, but actually he let go of that. He didn't think, I have to keep hold of this, but I'll become flesh and blood like us. And then when he lived in flesh and blood like you and I, he served. He lived a life of service, and it says obedience. And he was obedient even to the point of death. And then it says, even death on a cross, which is so brutal. It says, this is the reason that God has given him the name which is above every name, that at the name of Jesus, every knee will bow, everyone will submit, every person will say he is Lord, and this will be for God the Father's glory. So it starts off with Jesus being in the form of God, putting aside that, humbling himself to be just in the constrictions of that which he created, and then to serve us to such a great length of laying down his life, laying everything aside, because Jesus has served greater than anyone could ever serve with his act of service. God has given him the name above every name. Jesus is honored and greater than everyone. Jesus said this, he said, the least among you, he's the greatest. He said, if you want to be top dog, you need to get to the bottom. It's how low can you go? Me and my boys, we have a saying, John 3:30, he must increase, I must decrease. That's the Christian life. That's what it's about. If you want to think, how can I be more like Jesus today? If you want to think, what can I do to be more like Jesus? You need to be thinking not about you, but about others and their needs that you can meet, and serving them, putting them first. How about today? How about today? You think about your mum, your dad, your brother, your sister, or your friends. If you hate doing the washing up, today there's no complaining, just get on with it. If when you're at school, you're normally the one who's got the big mouth, today it's silent. You're going to serve your teacher, you're going to honor them. You're going to live for their benefit, not your own. For your friend at school that you always kind of make fun of to make yourself look big, today's the day where that stops, and you praise them in front of everyone else. This is the attitude that Jesus had. Jesus had this attitude with Peter, who was a guy who'd failed academically, and Jesus said, come follow me. And when he said follow me, he was saying, I believe you can be as I am. Jesus calls us to follow him. He believes we can be as he is. He believes you can be as he is. That's a miracle in itself. Today, put aside you and put someone else ahead. When we do that, we put God first.